Roman. Okay, so let's do it. So I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. This is the Ibaryath verbal root of the day, the Ibaryath verbal root of the day. I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School, and this is the Ibaryath verbal root of the day, which is akala. The Ibaryath verbal root of the day is akala. So the Ibaryath is read from the far right to the far left. So let's go ahead and speak this word. So here we see highlighted a. This is the pictograph a, ka, la. Okay. A, ka, la. Put it together, akala. Put it together, akala. It's very helpful that when you speak these words, you do it in such a way that you're almost like singing, because it helps you to pronounce the words better. Because the words are so different, it causes you to have to move your tongue in a way that's differently, your lips in a way that's different, and then your facial muscles, you have to also move them in a way that's different than the way we normally move those muscles when we speak English words. So again, if you speak these words or pronounce them almost like you're singing, you'll find that not only do they sound very beautiful, but it's more easy to speak them. And also you'll become, your facial muscles will get used to speaking these words, and you become more and more and more and more comfortable with it. So let's go ahead and practice it again. Akala, a-ka-la. Say it together, akala, akala, akala. Akala in English means eat. Akala in English means eat. So as we always do in this course, we look up the meaning of words, okay? And this time I'm going to do something different. And I may continue to do this in the future. Depends on if I can fit it all in the same time, but I'm going to go over the etymology of the words, of the English words. We cover the etymology of these words in the cursus course. We cover the etymology, the word morphology, which is how they're constructed. We cover the grammar, parts of speech. We cover all of that in the cursus course. And if you want to know more about this information, you can buy my book. I Can Read Biblical Phoenician Hebrew, Deuteronomy chapter 28, volumes 1, 2, and 3. So I've completed 3 volumes. It's probably going to be 5 or 6 volumes total. But these grammatical terms and so much more are in either volume 1 or volume 2, but I highly recommend you buy all 3 volumes because it presents a word for word breakdown or a word for word examination and evaluation of every word in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Okay, so let's go back and deal with the etymology of English. I'm sorry, the etymology of the word eat. Okay, so we will interpret this graphic. Okay, we will interpret this graphic. So here, origin, so this is the word origin. So we see here highlighted words that are highlighted in blue. So dramatic. So we look at this arrow here. This is the beginning of the arrow. This is the tail of the arrow. This is the head of the arrow right here, right? So the origin starts where? With the tail of the arrow. So the origin, we see dramatic. The head of the arrow here points to Old English. So we see etan. So the Old English word is etan. The Old English word is etan. We follow this line or this arrow line again, and we see Dutch. We see the highlighted word Dutch, and beneath that we see etin, and then we see the arrow tail and then the arrow head pointing here to English. So this would be the modern English word eat. Okay, the modern English word eat. Below Dutch, we see German highlighted, and below that, we see the word ascend. Now we see the arrow tail here, and we go up, and now we see the arrow head. So this is the English word eat. So what can we understand based upon our analysis or interpretation of this graphic? The origin of this word is Germanic. We know that. Why? Because here's the tail of the arrow, right? Okay, so the Old English word is etan. Okay, etan is related to the modern English word eat. Okay, the Dutch English word eten is also related, okay, to the modern English word eat, and so is the German. We understand that just by following the tail and the head of the arrows. So now let's go and check our understanding with or against what the author intended to write. Okay, so let's go ahead and check that. So Old English etan, so we see that here, right? We see that, so Old English etan of Germanic origin, so we see that right here's the tail of the arrow of Germanic origin related to Dutch eten. Okay, we follow the arrow, so we see that, right? The Dutch eten, so that's correct. And German isen, so we also see that. We follow the tail to the head of the arrow, okay? Now, look at origin, and then there's nothing here. In other words, there's no tail of the arrow and head of the arrow pointing to isen. Everybody should take note of that. So let's deal with that. It says from an Indo-European root. See, an Indo-European root shared by Latin idir and Greek idine. So maybe they don't know what that is, and maybe that's why they didn't put it there. But maybe they share, it's the root is common to the Latin idir and then the Greek idine, but it could be unknown, right? Because it doesn't specify what it is. That accounts, that's why we don't see a line and a word, okay, or Indo-European here. All right, so that's how we should interpret that. So our interpretation was correct. Okay, I hope everybody sees what we just did here. You can apply the same method to any graph that you see like this, or any graph that uses arrows, right? Any graph that uses arrows. Okay, so now let's go back to our Ibaryath word of the day for review. Okay, Ibaryath verbal roots or root words cannot be spoken until you put them in a verbal form and conjugate them. That's the first rule. So this is an Ibaryath verbal root word, okay? Verbal roots are actually not words because you can speak words, right? But people say verbal root words because it's common and it's easier to understand. Okay, so verbal root words cannot be spoken. These are the building blocks upon which every word that is derived from it is built. Okay, so let's go and review akala. Akala. Put it all together. Akala. And if you have a nice voice and you sing it, it sounds really nice. So akala. Akala. At Zion Law School, we do not practice any type of pronunciation scheme. Okay, I teach every pictograph and we pronounce every pictograph for various reasons. Okay, but again, let's go back and speak this again a few more times. Akala. 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 Put it together. Akala. Akala. The meaning of akala in English is eat. The meaning of akala in English is eat. Akala means eat in English. So thank you very much for tuning in for the Ibaryath word of the day. I'm Dr. Yasapa. I want to personally invite you to come and observe, participate fully in the Curses course that I teach every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the way, let me announce this publicly. In the past, I've offered 4 free courses, which would be every Saturday. So that's about a month, right? That's about a month. But I'm reducing that right now. I'm reducing it to 2 free classes. And for any observer who comes into the course, you get 2 free, right? You get 2 free. You don't have to buy the book. You don't have to do anything. You are required to subscribe to our Patreon, which is only $10. And what that's going to give you access to is the recorded classes. So every class is recorded and posted on Patreon, and you're supposed to go back and review those lectures, those classes during the week to prepare for the next class. So that's the only thing you have to do. Now, if you perform well and you show interest, I may extend your stay for free for 2 more weeks. So I have that option to extend you for 2 more weeks for free if your performance and participation is good, okay? And the reason why I'm doing that is because some people come into the class and because it's free, they don't appreciate it, they don't value it, okay? And that just does not work out well. So it has to be good for Zion Law School, okay? So after 2 weeks, if you want to enroll, you're welcome to, or after 4 weeks, if you perform well, okay? And I invite you to stay for 2 more weeks for free. That would be 4 weeks, and then after that, you have to make a decision to enroll or go. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it. So class starts every Saturday. The schedule is every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then there's no debating, no disrespecting other people, and you have to participate. So if a person comes in, I'm going to enforce this strictly. If a person comes in and disrespects someone, there's not going to be any discussion. You will be removed from class, okay? We cannot disrespect each other while we're trying to learn or return to the Most High, okay? I will not allow that to happen. If you do it one time, you'll be removed. You cannot come back, okay? If you do it one time, you disrespect somebody, one time, you cannot come back, okay? So our classroom is a nurturing environment. It has to be a place where people can come and learn and not worry about coming to class or worry about while they're in class, somebody's going to think they're stupid or disrespect them, okay, or attack them. It will not happen. We offer a classroom environment that's nurturing, where everybody can come in and learn and be comfortable and look forward to the next class, okay? So everybody's invited. The link, the registration link, is in the description box in the video. And I hope to see you there. There's also a course description, and there's a recommended book list, okay? So go ahead and register, come to class Saturday. Send me an email if you have any questions, okay? Send me an email if you have any questions. I'm Dr. Yusafa from Zion Law School, and this has been the Ibaryath Verbal Root of the Day. So let's be good to each other. Shalom.